Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Toonkind game. I am Kai, your DM, and I still don't have a proper good way to introduce the one-shots that I'm doing now, because it's not Neverending Train, it's not Odyssey, there's no actual interlinking stuff, it's just singular one-shots. But anyway, I have three wonderful players with me in this early morning for, I think, three of us, and then evening for the one other person. But would you guys like to introduce yourselves and your characters, starting from the top down?
Hi, I'm Candlestick, and I'm playing a new character today, Crystal Everlight. She is here to get the job done. That's all.
Efficient.
Nice. Hello, my name is Dewp or Dewpy Girin. I am playing my lovely three-headed, no thoughts, head empty hero, Eenie, Miney, and Mo.
This is gonna be chaos. This is gonna be chaos. And
It
last
is.
but not least,
Hi, I'm Babble. I'm vibing. I'm also playing Hubby Mechanic Grandma Juniper today. Hee hoo. She's here to kick some purple ass.
I reckon we've got a really good range of players here, because we've just got, like, okay, efficiency, chaos, and love, but also hatred of the colour purple, which is ideal for this game, considering this game is going to be about the colour purple. And now it is time for me to do my opening monologue. Alright. It is a lovely day in Toontown. The sun is rising. Think people are going about their day-to-day business, setting up shops and grabbing groceries and heading to work and all those sorts of fun things in the usual sort of chaos that Toontown is. And it being the usual sort of chaos as Toontown is, no one really notices it or takes much care when screams start coming from the local art museum.
It's not. That's just a Friday night art museum. And everyone really lets loose.
Yeah, the screaming is part of the art. They don't just come from the art museum, they come from local, like, warehouses and a couple of artist studios and here, there, and everywhere. But it is the art museum that we are going to focus on today, so we'll stick with that. However, that's not going to be where we're starting. We are actually starting at the head offices of Pens Paints, where they have very recently, as in within the last 2 days, released a new type of paint. It is a purple paint, it is a violet paint, it is ultraviolet, a purple that is so purple that you can't even see how purple it really is. However, they have had a slight issue when putting these out, because the first run of paints, while excellent, they came out in like perfect quality, everything's working just fine. There's a slight issue where on the tubes of paint there was a bit of a typo. So rather than being called ultraviolet, they have been dubbed ultra-violent. And that's where our issue rises today. So we zoom in at the CEO's office of Pens Paints, where Mrs. Penelope Penn is madly shuffling through pieces of paper, her normally neat bun in a mess, several paintbrushes stuck through the back of it to hold it in place, and as she looks up from her stack of papers and goes like, okay, next, what's the next thing you guys to handle the art gallery? Right, you. Hi. And she looks up at the three of you standing in front of her.
Oh boy. Hubby Grandma's like 7'8" and wearing heels.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
God.
Question: how big Miss Penn is?
Miss Penn, like, she's real kind human. She's probably only about 5'7", and she's sitting at a desk, so when she looks up at you, she is needing to look up.
How tall is Eenie, Meenie, Miny, that Eenie, Meenie, Mo?
Eenie, Miney, and Mo are shorter than Puppy Grandma, definitely. Which is which is new for them. They're usually one of the taller toons around. They're not super used to being shorter than anyone, honestly.
Okay, so yeah, Crystal is 5 foot, so which is
Oh god. Oh my god.
um kind of tall for a normal toon, but still short, definitely short compared to everyone else. But she's just standing like as tall as she can.
Oh boy, when I started off saying that we had some wonderful variation in characters, that's even more true now. Right, so it's going to be... so Ms. Penn looks up and goes, right, hello, thank you three for applying for the adventurers. For applying as adventurers here, we really do need your help. This is a matter where we need to get things sorted very quickly, quick as we can. What was your name? What were your names and specialities again, if I could grab those real quick?
Eenie, Miney. Oh, sorry, were you going to say Candle?
No, you go first.
Okay. When you say what's your name and what's your speciality, you're gonna see Eenie, Miney, Mo sort of clear their throats, and I'm gonna roll something quickly.
Oh, fun! First roll of the game.
They are gonna roll. Oh, they got a plus in that. That's good. Okay. Yes. 19. Okay, that was a performance roll. So
Excellent.
what's gonna happen is, they're gonna strike a very heroic pose, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, all three heads facing the same way, gazing into the middle distance. And you're going to hear them say, well, we are the adventurers, Eenie, Miney, and Mo. It's a pleasure to meet you. And they're gonna take something out of their hammer space as well. D100. Oh, isn't that one? Hey!
Most fumble of the game.
This
I love
is
it.
an amazing introduction.
And they're gonna, without looking, they're gonna use one of their feet, reach into one of their ruffs, and let's see, 1, 2.
That's a handful of yogurt, I believe, if you're using the default hammer space.
No, I have got one.
Oh, even better.
They reach into one of the ruffs around their neck, and they pull out what looks like a speech bubble, and without looking, they hold it out towards the lady at the desk, and it says, in the bubble, it says, you can't use this right now. And for a second, they just sort of stand there, and then they think, look down at what they've got in their claws, and they're like, wait, sorry, hang on, that's not. They put it back, and they're going to roll again. The 5. Does that pass
makes
muster?
it.
No, I thought it had to be
5 or
above.
higher?
I thought it was a 6 or above to see.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Well, again. 11. Okay, so they get. Oh, hey, it's kind of what I wanted anyway. Never mind. So they reach into their ruff, and then they pull out a small object, and they hold it out towards her, and it looks like a badge. It looks like a badge that has a big R on it, 2 wings coming off the sides, and a bronze circle in the middle, with a big R in the middle. If you want, anyone can roll perception on this.
Yeah, I think I will. One moment, let me double check. Pen stats. Okay, that's a +4 then. So Miss Penn got a 13.
13. Okay, Miss Penn, you don't really know what exactly this whole thing is about. You look at the R. You look at this, and you think maybe this badge that's being held out is homemade, because you can kind of see just around the edges where the wings connect. There's like the little bits of glue overlap. And initially it looks like bronze, but you're looking at it, it's starting to look. You don't think it's like a bronze badge at all. It doesn't seem to be the right material for that. But you're sure it's a legit badge. You're pretty sure it's a legit badge.
I think she just kind of blinks at it. I'm sorry, I don't really know what you mean. I don't. What is this badge for?
We're rescue rangers. We're one of the best around. I can guarantee it. And shoot you a winning smile.
All right. All right, Ranger. Yes. Okay, that will. Yes, you'll be good. What about you two?
Yeah, Crystal is rolling her eyes. You. I'm sorry. She is probably going to be. You have not made a good impression on her, so she's probably not going to regard you very highly.
That's fine.
And she'll stick her hand out and be like, "Crystal Everlight, nullification magic researcher."
Okay, magical researcher, crystal, yes, and Miss Penn pulls out a piece of paper, which would have been, like, the application that you signed probably only, like, half an hour ago, so quickly skim through that, yes, wizard, perfect, yes, you'll be good, magical research, we could definitely do with what's going on here. I don't know if it's something magical, I don't know if it's something 2D, frankly, this is not my area of expertise, I just make paint. And what about you, Miss?
Sorry, I'm not sure if you quite caught. She did say magic nullification researcher, so I don't know if that makes much of a difference at all.
I don't think that necessarily would have changed what she said. Like, again, also, she is very harried at the moment. She's not necessarily paying as much attention as she really should. And yeah, you, Miss, looking at Juniper.
Juniper has been a very good, patient puppy grandma. Her tail has been wagging like a propeller the entire time, just patiently waiting. And then when she gets called upon, her eyes seem to brighten. They're also a very vibrant purple. And she has really big teeth when she smiles. Kind of scary, given her own size. But she very enthusiastically, unintentionally shouts. She's an incredibly loud puppy, it seems. Hi, I'm Juniper. Nice to meet you. I'm a mechanic, but also, words good. Bleh. I love this. I don't like the color purple, so that's why I'm here, because I'm always down to kick purple tail. So
I think Miss Penn just kind of again like looks at Juniper for a little while and just blink, blink, blink. She's not sure why a mechanic is signing up to this. She's not sure what is going on, but you know what? The more hands they have helping, the better. So it's like, right.
Also, I can lift really heavy things, if that is helpful at all.
You know what that may be? I don't know what state the museum is at the moment. I just know that there's a plink rampaging around there everywhere, and we do need to get that sorted as soon as possible. And when she mentions plinked, can I get a history roll from you three?
Ooh. Something that has to do with intelligence.
I'm gonna roll 2 of these for a reason. Oh, nat 20 on that one.
Nice. Okay.
Let everyone else roll first.
Oh my god, really?
We've got a fucking crit, like a nat 20 and a crit fail right after each other. So that's fun.
I can't even tell which one's which because of the fact that we both have a +8.
I'm gonna read it as Candles, yours was the crit fail because like yours has popped up first on my screen.
That yeah. Probably, like, the thing is, I don't know whether Babble or I would be able to tell, but if it's you, then it's probably the whoever actually did it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go, yeah, it honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's as long as one of them is who's we've got someone in the party that has a nat 20, so we're good. But okay. Alright, we will start off with Crystal. You have no idea what that word is, and you're pretty sure she just made it up.
Yep, that tracks.
For everyone else, because you guys got some fucking astounding rolls here, frankly, and that nat 20, which is a 21, and the unnatural 23 from Juniper, then you guys have definitely heard of the name of Plinked before. And when I say name, it is like the name of a person, or more specifically, a rather famous artist who does tend to live in Town but does travel a little bit. And Priscilla Plinked is famous for doing like a lot of like symbolist art, very heavy on symbols, does like doing a lot of patterns. A lot of her work tends to have very like slightly muted colors, but tends to have one or maybe two colors taking up the majority of the work. And you two have, again, both of your utterly astounding roles here. You even know that you read something in a newspaper recently, or you heard rumors on the wind, because you two must be art aficionados. That there had been some deals between Plinked and Penn's Paints, in which Priscilla Plinked had exclusive rights to be the first artist to display any work featuring like Penn's new ultraviolet paint. And considering that Ms. Penn has already mentioned something going wrong in the art museum, I will let you guys draw your own conclusions from there. And the 16 for Bab, you don't, I will say, the Bab would not know about the connection.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, for Bab, sorry, that was I was meant to say for Babble. This is for this is a history role for Eenie, Miney, and Mo for Juniper, for a reason. But don't worry, this might come up a bit later.
Fair enough. Okay, so you got the information that I gave you there. If you have any other like questions I can potentially answer you with the roles that you got, you may have an easier time with roles later down the line. But there you go. That is the information you got.
This totally makes sense why Crystal does not know anything about this. Not that she's going to admit it.
Excellent.
This unfortunately makes so much sense for Juniper because backstory reasons that I can't say yet.
Man, I love it when the dice actually play to characters perfectly.
Juniper is just sitting here. She is just sitting here looking at this, or listening to this information, or thinking about it. I don't know. What are words? She's thinking. She's having thoughts. She doesn't really like the conclusions that she's coming up with. She wants to fight. She doesn't want to fight often, but she wants to fight right now.
Oh no. Does anyone, I was going to say, do Eenie, Miney, or Mo want to act on the information that they have? And or why the heck do they know so much about this singular artist?
Okay, what I've got to say is, Eenie, Miney, and Mo, they're rogue, they're not rogues, they're rangers. They scour newspapers and stuff for jobs, you know, like, sometimes life on the road is hard, and you need a couple coppers to get by. And sometimes you need to scour the newspapers for little odd jobs. And while Mo is looking at the hairstylist section and the sob stories, and Miney is actually looking for jobs, Eenie is probably quite sneakily just going through the sports section, aka the fancy arts and living section, especially the ones with a nice decor. Eenie likes a really nice decor. And maybe just saw this article and it grabbed him. And he kind of absorbed it into his brain.
Excellent. I love this. All right. So Ms. Penn continues. I was like, and now there's a Plinked running around the art museum and we need to sort that. All right. So you three, there are two jobs that you need to do. You need to get to the art museum and contain whatever is making a mess in there. And also, if you can you please swing by Plinked's art studio and make sure she's not dead, maybe. Please. Do you have anything?
Absolutely. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say, Eenie, Miney, Mo, straighten up. They go, absolutely, 100%, we'll get everything done today. In fact, we'll get everything done within 2 hours, I bet you. Well, now, maybe don't say 2 hours. 2 hours seems a bit of a stretch. 2 hours, I bet you. 2 hours, we'll have it done.
We'll get it done
Maybe
as
we
fast
should
as
promise
possible.
a time restraint.
can't do it in 2 hours, then you're a coward. Oh,
Well, 2 hours would be ideal, to be quite honest, because we do need this sorted as quickly as possible, because apparently there's a lot of property damage there, and we're not insured for other people's statues. But, so, 2 hours
Whoa.
would be excellent if you can manage that. And Ms. Penn is going to slide 3 contracts across her desk towards you guys.
If it is at all helpful, I can help rebuild the buildings. But I can't help with the artwork, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Can I roll anything to read this contract?
Yeah, give me investigation if you want to have a closer look at the contracts.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Eenie,
What
Miney,
is
Mo
your
are not.
investigation?
They're not gonna do that. They are just gonna. They're just gonna stamp. They're just gonna stamp on the contract.
I'm so glad that there is at least one of you that's just diving in head first. Alright, that was an 18 from Juniper and a 24 from Crystal. Jeez. Alright, good news is, both of you, that is enough that you do have a quick skim of the contract, and you can even go through it relatively quickly while getting most of the information. For the most part, it is a pretty standard contract of, like, yep, you are going to be working on this one-time job for Pens Paints Limited, and you will be you will be paid for this a total of 25 gold for helping out on the exact task that you have been provided, which is to either contain or eliminate the creature that you are sent after, specifically the one in the art museum. You've also been told to retrieve any tubes of used or half-used or full paint within the artist studio, and and there's a whole bunch of legalese filling up everything. Because of how high that you managed to roll, the legalese doesn't even bother you. You understand it, you get where it's going. And you even managed to spot this little thing in it where any damages that you guys specifically make to any property, any art, or any expensive items is going to be coming out of your pay.
I'm really glad Eenie, Miney, and Mo didn't read that.
Yeah, same.
Oh my gosh.
Crystal's gonna raise this point with I have a question about this, and she'll point to it. Is this a collective total or individual?
Yes, standard one. That one's I would need to double check with our lawyers about that, to be quite honest. I'm fairly sure that we basically just need to make sure that the art is paid for. Please don't go destroying stuff. If you don't destroy stuff, it won't be a problem.
If you make it individual, I will sign this.
I have mending. I will try to reserve everything that I have for that. Just in case
Basically, Crystal does not want to be saddled with the reparation costs of the other two's damages.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gonna say, can you make me a persuasion roll for this real quick?
Oh, joy.
I want to see if this works out, because, you are correct in this. Ooh! I think, with a 10, I think Ms. Penn looks at you and just again, while before it was very much, oh god, I still don't know what's going on, she's clocked what you're trying to do, and as I said before, if you don't destroy anything, it won't be a problem. You guys are meant to be working in a team, aren't you?
She just gives you the most sour look.
I mean, I would hope so. You called the 3 of us here yet? And Juniper looks very slightly perked. Tail's still wagging. She's trying.
Oh.
She is hoping that this is good.
I'm so sorry about Crystal. She's not here to make friends.
While you guys have been talking, go ahead. Sorry, Babble. Go ahead.
I was taking a drink.
Oh, you're taking a drink. I thought you were speaking. Sorry. All right then, if that's the case, as 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 the lady at desk says, I hope you're working as a team. While you've been talking legalese, Eenie, Miney, Mo have just completely been spacing out, looking around the office and just sort of muttering to themselves. The minute she says working as a team, they perk up again, and they're gonna one head on each side. So Eenie and Mo, they're gonna wrap their necks around. They're gonna wrap their necks around Crystal and big old puppy, and they're gonna bring him to their side, and they're gonna say, "Hey, trust us. With us by your side, trust us. We'll get the job done. We're going to be the best team around."
Please
Can
let
roll.
go. Please let go.
Oh,
Roll
for duty's
strength.
sake. I'm going to regret this very well.
Oh no.
I need to roll strength. Okay.
Yes, strength contest because you are technically grappled. They have pulled you into hug. Oh,
Oh no.
okay.
Okay.
She does not want this. She does not consent.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
Crystal's getting out of this.
Okay, so I mean, how do you want to say you get out of this? Or
I think Juniper just like pulls one arm behind the three of them. I forgot if Eenie, Miney, and Mo are wearing clothes. They are not.
no?
Man, I don't want her to grab their tail feathers, but that seems to be the only thing that they can actually grab without physically hurting them too badly. She, as gently as she can, just lifts them from their tail feathers over her so that they just kind of like slip. She slips through their heads that are trying to wrap around her, and she just sets them down in front of her and takes 2 big steps back.
Oh gosh. Okay. Candle, I'm very sorry. I'm afraid Crystal is still being grappled very lovingly by one head.
No, this
all
is
three heads-
delightful. I love it.
All 3 heads have turned to Juniper, and Juniper, you don't have to roll for anything. You see them all look at you with sparkles in their eyes. Because, whoa, you just lifted them up. That's not something people are usually able to do with them.
Put me down. Please.
Enie's the one that's got wrapped around you at the moment, so he's gonna just blink and then look at you and say, "Oh, right, yes, of course," and loosen his grip and just sort of wiggle away from you.
Thank you. And she's just gonna like straighten her dress. I'm gonna regret this, but very well. And she's gonna sign the contract.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a strain at the edge of Miss Penn's mouth as she kind of like smiles at you. It's like, see, teamwork. Okay, let's get this going. And she will quickly write down Priscilla Plink's studio address to hand to you guys, as well as like pointing out some directions to get to the museum. Are there any last things that you want to do or ask while you're in here, or are we moving on with the adventure?
Eenie, Miney, and Mo are just ready to go, man. They've got no questions. They've got a goal. They're gonna go.
Juniper might have one. So I think she probably would have asked Binky to wait outside. But she goes and grabs Binky, and she carries Binky on her hip like it's baby. Because that is technically her baby. She loved Binky very much. Binky is her steel defender puppy.
Aww.
Do you have any art of
I
Binky?
didn't get the chance to draw Binky yet,
well.
but she has Binky on her hip, and she brings it to them, either one. They don't care about gender. They are puppy brained as well. And she just shyly asks, "Is it okay if I bring my Steel Defender, and it seems like she's struggling to say that because she's used to just calling Binky her baby.
I love this.
With me. I'll try to keep them out of trouble. I don't want to leave them alone, and also, good for fighting. Very much so.
Yes, of course. If you have any tools that will help you on the job, you are absolutely welcome to bring them along. Of course, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And she is going to turn around and just kind of jog out. There is also a plate of burnt cookies for Miss Penn on the desk now.
Amazing.
Hello?
Did Crystal have any last objections, or are you headed off?
I think she probably headed off after Eenie, Miney, Mo.
Alright.
I keep forgetting which one it is. But yeah, just to keep an eye on them because she doesn't trust them.
Probably for the best.
That's all right. I was just gonna say, you said you put cookies down, didn't you?
Yes, burnt cookies.
Cool.
Because Juniper doesn't know how to bake very well.
It's okay. I mean, you can roll perception. You can roll perception if you want on this.
I am going to do that this time.
I'm also gonna do that because I just want to flaunt her perception.
That's a crit fail. And a 13.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a dirty one. Neither of you noticed.
Astounding. Alright, I'm gonna...
She's too funny.
For the sake of the camera, please describe what you have done, Eenie, Miny, Mo.
Okay, so Poppy has no idea. Grandma has no idea. Still, you kind of see them. You see Eenie, Miny, Mo lean towards the desk, and they just sort of seem like to be talking to the pen behind the desk before they go. But what they've done, basically, they've seen cookies, and these guys don't actually often get to have home-baked meals because they're wanderers and rangers, and they see cookies being put down, and they don't care if they're burnt or whatever. They don't have any objections. They've basically taken three of those cookies and shoved them into the hammer space.
Excellent.
That's like a hand roll.
Alright. As you guys head out, I'm going to say that Ms. Penn did see this, and she's just kind of watching this, and then watching you leave, and just, after you've all left the room, it's just deep breath in. Tunes. Next! And she calls in the next group of adventures, and then we cut to you guys walking down the main street. Now, where do you want to go first? To the museum or the studio?
Eenie, Miny, and Mo aren't too fussed about where they go first, honestly.
So, the studio will probably be able to tell us a little bit more about what it is that we're to face, but since this is a containment assignment, something tells me the art museum might be the better place to start to stop this getting out of hand before it goes too far. What are your guys' thoughts?
On one hand, I agree that it does need to be contained as soon as possible. On the other, how can we really know how to contain it if we don't first know what it is in terms of, like, I don't have words, but it's easier to contain things and quicker to do so when you have more knowledge of what exactly it is.
Whilst you two are talking, you just hear a shink shink coming from Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and if you two were to turn to look at them, you see that Eenie and Mo already have two short swords in their mouths, and Miney is just looking at you and being like, "So we're not going to go straight towards you know, and they just slash their swords in the air.
Perhaps it would be best if we went to the studio first to avoid any unnecessary damage, as well as
Yeah.
information.
Crystal has just like again like the oh god, give me patience before yes, studio it is.
No, we're going to the studio, and she's just like marching off. Just
Miney's just gonna go. All right, boys, put the swords away. We have a chance to use them later. And you hit too disappointed, and they're gonna put their swords away and follow after you.
I'm so sorry.
Never apologize.
I love this. This
Good.
is astounding.
I'm dying.
They were gonna keep that. Now they're doing research. This is not what they signed up for.
I love this. I love you three. This is a fantastic team. Okay, you guys head over to Plink's studio. I gotta ask. Normally, I would just assume that you guys just knock on the door. Considering who the three of you are, and the fact that you've got Eenie, Miney, and Mo in your party, do you knock on the door or do you do something stupid?
Well, absolutely no. No, there's no knocking. Juniper's just going in.
Oh. I think Crystal would try to knock, but I don't think she's the first one to the door.
Alright, can I get a quick fucking athletics roll from Crystal real quick to see if you are the first person to the door?
Oh, this is gonna go great.
Let's do contesting.
Yep.
Oh,
We've got to make
we
this
all-
race.
And that's a 7 from Crystal, which is not encouraging.
It's an acrobatics?
Athletics. 12
Okay.
from Eenie, Miney, Mo.
Oh boy. Alright.
And a 9 from Juniper. Okay. So, Eenie, Miney, Mo, you are the first to arrive, closely followed by Juniper, with Crystal desperately running after you guys, trying to get you to stop doing whatever you're about to do. How does this go down?
Okay, so Eenie, Miney, and Mo, I would like to flavour it with, like, as they were walking along, Eenie, Miney, and Mo just sort of kept trying to go in front of the other two, and the other two kept trying to catch up with them, and they kept going faster, and then they kept going faster, and then eventually just turned into an all-out sprint to try and get to the front first.
Astounding.
And then they're going to get to the door, and a full tilt, and they're going to go...
Crystal's
do
going
that
to be
sort of-
gasping for air by the time they get there.
I mean,
Yeah,
I honestly
and,
think that Juniper at some point would think that they're playing tag. And so she would have gotten on all fours and started bolting after every one of them.
Oh god. Oh gosh. I mean, if they're going to be doing that, they're definitely going to be bolting because they're being chased by something very big. Instincts are going to kick in and they're going to run. In which case, if instincts have kicked in, I got a frost.
Big, intimidating, dumbass puppy.
Exactly. Where is my thingy-jiggy? There's my thingy-jiggy. They're going to just run straight towards the door. And
Oh
they're going to
no.
jump and they're going to kick at the door.
Remember
The 17.
property damage! You hear Crystal yell from far behind.
Look, they're being chased by a very large animal. They're not thinking right now. To be fair, they don't really think, but the case still stands.
I would say with a
I
17,
roll?
the door does. With a 17, it's even high enough that it's not just the door swings open as you've kicked the lock open. It is you've actively kicked this thing off its hinges. And you just see the thunk as the door rattles onto the ground as you've burst in.
When I say that when they kick their door, they sort of kick it and they sort of land on it and slide a little, like a very cool
Excellent.
slide.
Can I roll an accidental intimidation from Juniper?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
That's a boy.
Puppy.
I-
To roll a whiz save and see how that goes because I think I might have a
I was
got
gonna.
a -1 in that. I could beat that.
I was gonna say. I reckon. I reckon that Juniper's tail is wagging a bit hard. But all right, no. Eenie, Miney, and Mo are just a moron. 3 heads making up a singular moron.
Absolutely. So despite the fact that to anyone else, Juniper looks absolutely pubby right now, to Eenie, Miney, and Mo, it's like they pan over and in one blink it's just Juniper on all fours wagging her tail, and then it's another blink and it's just a very large growly creature and it's like "Argh," and that's Eenie, Miney, and Mo vision right now.
It probably doesn't help that her bark is very deep compared to her voice. She does kind of sound terrifying.
Crystal, please come in and bring a single brain cell into this scenario.
Yeah, she's gonna get there gasping for breath and go, "Ah, Blinked? Is anyone here? Just let there be.
Alright, the good news
Not
is...
leave me alone in this house with 2 morons."
The good news is, despite that whole thing that just went down with the door and the fucking even bad imitation roll, Priscilla, you do actually hear, I was like, 1 minute, yes, yeah. Oh, hello, we got people coming. Ah, good, you must be here about the paint. Because Priscilla does not take even the slightest bit of notice as you see, because she got a 21 on her wisdom save and just looks like, yes, this... I reckon she probably has a bit of advantage here because she is also a toon as you guys, as opposed to Ms. Penn the human. So she kind of gets what's going on. She is shaped like a UPAian, but the patterns and designs and everything that are swirling through her clothing, like her deep yellow clothing, seem a little bit more complex than some of the classic UPAian styles. And she just looks at you like, yes, you might be that. Can I get a perception check from everyone?
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Goodbye!
As you get
Just
your
give
first...
me a moment. I just need a moment because my internet's cutting in and out.
Oh yeah, no problem, Candle. I can repeat anything that you need me to. But yeah, this is you guys getting your first real look at this art studio and at Priscilla Plinked. So...
Well, my roll tracks because they are still keeping all of their eyes on Big Puppy.
Yeah, that was a 4. That was astounding.
Honestly, Big Puppy is kind of like, she has sat very much so like a puppy, even though she has a bucket on one of her back legs, because she crashed. She absolutely crashed when she slid in here trying to stop.
Yeah, okay, I think with that 9, Crystal's still gasping for breath.
Alright, a 9 is enough that thankfully you do get a little bit of a look around the studio, and you notice that, this place is a fucking wreck, and you can't quite tell if it is the wreck of, oh no, something happened here, or the wreck of, this is an artist studio. But you could tell that this place is very much a mess. There are splashes of paint everywhere. There are like 7 different half-finished canvases propped up here, there, and everywhere. There are paintbrushes and easels scattered about. It's just a very big and complicated stuff. However, Juniper, with that 18, you get a good look at this place, and you can tell that while yes, some of the mess is just that of a usual artist studio, it is also the mess that has come from, something definitely did happen here, because there are just splotches of half-dried purple paint splashed about the whole place. It kind of looks like someone or something went crashing into some of these various canvases, because that bit of purple paint on that painting that is otherwise mostly deep yellows and greens, it clashes just a little bit. Your artistic sentiment does not think that belongs. That was probably put there in some manner of, attack of purple paint. And Priscilla, you also notice that some of this purple does seem to be staining some of Priscilla's clothes. So yeah, Priscilla looks, she's like, yes, you are here for the paint. I am glad you are here. Not on purpose, not on purpose. If you would you be so kind as to maybe come and help out a little bit over this? I got it in a jar.
Of course. Juniper is gonna stand up, walking funny because of the bucket until she can shake it off, and she puts it to the side so that it's not bumping into anything.
Excellent. All right.
I think Crystal's going to ask as they're walking, is there anything you can tell us about the paint that you have been able to deduce while you've had it?
Well, it's really excellent to work with. It has the very slight translucency as you're painting with it. Like, the color is so very vibrant. It's brighter than you can ever see, as you can see from scattered around. She is going to just start going on about the qualities of the paint itself and how it is to work with, and how she's tried mixing it with a couple of different paint bases to see what the effects are, mixing in a little bit of egg white with the usual staple, unless you drag her back on topic of, it attacking her.
What about the attack?
Oh, go ahead.
Should I be rolling a persuasion or something to see how well I am at getting her on track?
Yeah, please do.
Unfortunately, Juniper's probably babbling about it with her because she's had some history with bards and things.
Okay. I'm gonna need. All right.
No.
So that is a 9 persuasion from Crystal. Can I get a persuasion from Juniper as well to keep her on track about, the actual paint properties?
She's not doing this on purpose. She's just very much so into this. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I love this. That's a nat 20. I'm so sorry, Crystal. I think you just get completely talked over. They probably don't even register what you say. I think the most that you get is just like, oh, this is the attack. No, don't worry. I'm fine. Oh, minor wounds. This is fine. And then back to talking about the paint with Juniper.
Juniper even points out some more chemical or technical things about the pieces and compliments them as they're walking and talking.
Yep, excellent. Yeah, you are gonna get to Priscilla is very happy to talk to you about this. Is so happy to have a fan that isn't obnoxious like some various art critics that she's encountered, and she does say that. So yeah, she's having a good time talking like artist to artist sort of thing. But you guys do all eventually get into the next room, and then you see this rather large glass fishbowl upturned on the floor with a whole big stack of books on top of it, and the inside of the fishbowl is just pure purple. It's just, you cannot see anything but purple, and some very light shakes as things seem to move around in there.
Eenie, Miney and Mo are immediately going to go up to this thing, and they're going to go, oh, this looks really neat. I like this colour. It's a really good colour, don't you think? We might be able to mix that in some of our,
Don't touch.
Don't touch, did you say?
Yeah.
It's incredibly rude to an artist to touch their things without their permission, for one.
I'd like you all to know that all 3 heads, all of their beaks were just about to tap onto the glass before you said don't touch, and they freeze. And they're like, we weren't going to touch it. Yeah, we're just having a bit of a closer look, innit, boys? Well, of course, we need to properly examine the issue before we can, find the weaknesses and be able to capture the other ones at the museum, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Crystal would like to cast Identify on the ink paint.
Yeah, please do. Can you read out that spell to me?
You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how much charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Okay, all right. I will say that you can just touch the outside of the fishbowl, and that will be close enough to make this spell work. Because I don't think you want to be setting this thing free, going by the absolutely massive stack of heavy art books sitting on top of it.
No. Yeah, she wants to touch the outside of the container, and it's a 1-minute ritual.
Okay. Can I actually get a spellcasting roll from you as well? I'm going to give you information no matter what. I just want to... I like doing this as a way of how much information I should give you.
Alright. That should just be the attack roll?
I mean, you should have a spellcasting bonus, right? Yeah, d20 plus that.
Yes.
Alright, yeah, so, dirty 20. Alright, yeah, you definitely get everything about this. Sven, I think probably the main thing you notice is that while you touch this, yes, there is definitely magic here, and you can feel that. However, you can't be certain what type of magic is. You can't narrow it down to a specific school because it seems to be a mix of a lot of schools all at once, because like there's a teensy bit of necromancy in there, maybe a tiny bit of evocation, a bit of transmutation, a bit of this, a bit of that. You can feel a little bit of every kind of magic in this here. It doesn't feel like this was created by a spell, but it does seem to have been brought to life by not a spell, but by whatever magic is going on. And with a dirty 20, I will say that this does feel familiar when you've cast this on specifically other toons before, because this feels very, very similar to the same sort of magic that, you know, means toons are alive. This is how ink is brought to life to create people.
Oh, joy!
However, the one thing I will say is, while you can feel that, it feels similar to that. It's not exactly the same because it does feel a lot weaker. It doesn't feel quite as focused, and this is a weird one when you're thinking of like spells and everything, but it feels a lot angrier. And I will say, that's all you get from here unless you have specific questions you want to ask me on it.
I think that's enough for now. I think she will convey this information as briefly as she can to the others. She's not sure like if it's worth doing that, but hey, they're supposed to be acting as a team, so she might as well.
Miney and Mo are gonna nod their heads very sagely, and they're gonna be like, right, okay, it's very good information. Thank you very much for your assistance. It's very useful, very helpful. Actually, there is one thing though. You wouldn't happen to know what type of creature this is exactly? Is it an ooze? Is it a monstrosity? What sort of creature are we dealing with here?
Look, I work with magic, not creatures. I can't tell you that.
Eenie, Miney, Mo, got to pout and say, all right, I just thought, you being the magic person, you'd be able to tell us, but if that's just not something you can do, then I suppose there's nothing we can do about it. And they're gonna just sort of sit back and stare at this lovely purple swirly thing under the fishbowl.
Oh, she really doesn't like you.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo, you can roll me investigation if you want, and I can maybe tell you a little bit more about the creature itself.
Boy. Okay.
Meanwhile, alright, with an 8, you have no idea, and that's probably why you had to ask Crystal those questions.
Yes. They're distracted by the swirly, pretty colours.
Yeah,
It's a lot of different purple.
Like it's like, well, it's less a lot of different purple. It's more like one purple, but it's a lot of that purple. It is the most intense, and I think like if you stare at it for a while and then try and look at anything else, everything else kind of has this yellow tint to it as like the after image.
Yes.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the background, Juniper, I'm assuming that you're still chatting with Priscilla.
No, actually.
Ooh?
She has stopped, reached into her mouth, and has pulled out a notebook and a pen, and has been writing down the things that, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. Crystal was saying, and making little notes about what she herself is observing as she looks at it. She even doodled a little photo of it, like a little tiny picture of it. There's also something else that she put in the corner pointing to it, of something that it reminds her of.
And we don't get to know that because of lore, I'm guessing.
You can.
I mean,
You can if anybody wanted to make a perception check. It's not like there's no names. It's just like a short point.
Well,
I'm sorry. Crystal is not paying attention. I'm not going to roll a perception. Sorry.
You were
that one? So what happens is Eenie, Miney, and Mo, two of the heads are probably still staring very deeply into the purple, and then Mo is probably gonna blink, or he's gonna shake their head, and they're gonna try and peer at your book. They're gonna try and pop their head underneath, between the space where you're writing in the book. You know, where you got that little bit between your arms. He's just gonna pop his head underneath. He's gonna say, "You're gonna try and take a sneak peek." But
that absolutely gets Juniper to absent-mindedly, as she has probably dealt with this before because she is grandma aged, just like putting her one of her feet paws, one of her heeled paws against them, and just like gently pushing them away.
As you do, just
as she continues writing.
Just hear a little "oh" as she gets pushed down.
But Kai,
yeah, Priscilla.
You get.
Yeah. So like Priscilla was kind of probably watching you take these and kind of like looks up and sees little doodle in the corner. She's like, "Oh, like that is a very nice sketch. I'm guessing you artist yourself, so you've got this is like, well, you got this whole art thing, but it's like, oh, may I ask what it is of?"
Oh, I'm not really the artist. I just know a lot of artist people. She kind of tries to hide the book, but you do absolutely see the bright color of the blob thing in the fishbowl, but also you catch a glimpse of what looks like an eye. It is also the same color. And it says same family trait, like same color as the family eyes.
Priscilla will take note of that, which will be entertaining because I have no plans for Priscilla Plink to ever turn up in another game ever again.
And also that eye looks angry.
Oh dear. Hints at lore. But yeah, because you guys have come here first and have seen one of these things in motion, like alive, you are going to have a slightly easier time once you get to the museum. You do still have the job of I think like properly capturing and containing or neutralizing this thing, plus grabbing any of the paint tubes the paint was in. How do you want to go about that?
Since Crystal's been, can I roll an investigation to add to her stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, with a 21, so this is you investigating the paint, right?
Yes, now that she sort of knows a bit more about the magic of it, she's trying to investigate for other information.
Alright.
She's also feeling a little bit slighted over the fact that Eenie, Miney, and Mo suggested that she wasn't good at this.
Oh, no, with a 21, yes, she is good at this, because with a 21, you can identify that, yep, this is in fact moving in the same way that an ooze would. It does seem to be, it is something that is kind of closer to a magically made thing, as you know from previously, but the way that this is moving, this is a rather small, frankly, you'd even qualify this as tiny. It looks like this was maybe made as a kind of like a test paint sort of thing. Like, it was testing out like a couple of just random strokes across the page to see how the paint moves and how it flows when you're mixing it with certain things. Just kind of, testing this before going to start on the big artwork. And this thing, however, has now come to life, and it's rather formless. Oozes don't always have the most clear shapes, but this is like especially so as it plaps against the glass of the fishbowl.
Could she potentially gather anything about what it might be vulnerable to, both in terms of damages and things like dispel magic?
Alright, you're not certain that dispel magic would really work here, considering the complexity of the magic that is bringing it to life, in the same way that, again, like, dispel magic doesn't really work on toons as such. There is a deeper sort of magic going on this rather than a normal spell. However, from what you know, I'm going to give you this because you got a 21 on the investigation. From what you do remember, this doesn't happen with all oozes, but you know that quite a fair few oozes don't do great with cold. You also do keep in mind that while this is acting as an ooze, it is also still just a paint, like a regular artist's paint. So, there's a lot of things you can do with that knowledge.
Of course it wouldn't be that simple. Alright. It's an ooze, but it's also a paint. So, it'll be vulnerable to paint things, I think. And maybe cold.
Well, depending on the kind of paint, it could be vulnerable to fire.
You can just wash it off. Those paints just come off with a bit of water, don't they?
Doing that is a lot more difficult than you would initially think. Acrylic is a lot easier to get out with water and soap, but oil paint, not so much.
This is made up of the same sort of things that toons are. I'm not so sure that washing it away is going to work.
I have 2 questions, specifically for you. And she turns to Miss
Priscilla Plinked.
Miss Plinked. I'm trying, I'm sorry.
It's okay, names are hard.
Miss Plinked, first thing, what type of paint do you use normally, and does this perhaps match in terms of function?
Well, oil paints are generally my specialty. I do dabble with those, but this one was definitely oil bases, plus little things that I'm mixing myself.
Little things that you've been mixing yourself?
It's always like, you gotta find the things that give it the most glow, don't you? Because I think I like sometimes egg whites, sometimes a little bit of alcohol if I'm feeling a bit naughty. And like, she does list off a couple of other mostly clear liquidish type additions, because it is a thing of various artists do tend to mix some extra stuff into their paint, which helps give it extra sheens or adds extra qualities. Most of it does tend to be small enough amounts that will mix in well with the oil that won't necessarily change the physical properties of the paint, just how it looks a little bit once it's dried.
Have you had any differences in behavior between the different mixes of paint?
Well, no, they all kind of just became that. and yeah, just staring at the fishbowl.
You said it acts a lot like a tune. Did you perhaps mistakenly put in some clear soda?
I think she has to actually pause and think for a second, then it goes like, soda, is it fizzy bubbly stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Not on this one, not on this lot. So that is a good idea. I should try this in a later one. Yes, I think we'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
She is regretting her decisions. Okay. Well, that is. She is absolutely writing all of this down as well, as all of this is going on. And then she asks again, would you mind walking us through what happened, as best of your ability, what happened when you first got the paint, and can we examine the paint tubes themselves?
Yes, we will need to take them back with us at the very least.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, I suppose if it's coming this, you don't exactly want this paint being used anymore, so do you? Yeah, okay. And for the sake of me not having to do that absolutely horrendous voice that is no accent but all accents, and it's just specifically me trying to offend everyone in Europe.
Just accent TM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what she goes through is basically she's had the paint access to the paints for a couple of weeks now, as she was experimenting with it and then painting her latest masterpiece, which is now on display in the museum. She had no troubles with it until basically late last night. The first things that she painted was the little test batch experimenting with it, which has now turned into the ooze in a jar that you've got there, before she moved on to the masterpiece. And the masterpiece has already... There were no problems with this. It was just acted like regular paint. Yes, she noticed the typo on the tubes, but didn't think to bring it up because she just went, oh, that's a fun paint name, and moved on. And it wasn't until like late last night, specifically at midnight, when the actual public release of the paint to the wider community happened, that there started being some weird squelching noises coming from her studio when she looked around, and then this thing attacked her. So, and it's now early morning, and here you guys are.
So there was a delay.
I wonder if it's perhaps caused by a possible reaction to the public, because you love the paint. But what if other people did not, and perhaps that is what caused it? Emotions are strong, yeah?
I suppose, like, yes, I mean, tune emotions, especially in this place, that they can, again, the whole thing of belief and reaction to it. I suppose it's something that I'm not exactly a person in magic, but I can feel the artistic feel of everyone coming together, everyone seeing a thing, everyone believing in it, and that is a reaction, that is art. And
unfortunately, there are other people who might be seen as a critic and don't take things very well, as you yourself have stated before. I wonder if perhaps the paint, given the name being a misprint, might have something to do with the tube that it's in, the reaction of people. I have many theories, many thoughts.
Many thoughts head full.
Very head full. And she is absolutely writing down all of her theories at this point. Like, she's gone quiet. She's in conspiracy theorist mode, I guess you could say.
Yep,
Didn't expect that.
I think Crystal's gonna sigh, and probably the gentlest that she's been this entire time is gonna go, there will be time later to investigate this. Right now, we need to mitigate the damage.
Yes. Third question, or however many questions that I've asked. I know I've asked a lot. I'm so sorry for taking up your guys' time.
No, it's like I love
How
the questions.
exactly did you contain the ooze in there? How did you get it in?
Luck. It was chasing me and it threw itself at me and it kind of knocked me over a couple of times. So I grabbed the first things that I could find that was right next to me, and it was this bowl that my old fish Jeremy used to live in, but he does not live in it anymore because he does not live. I just grabbed the whole fishbowl just to kind of anything, you grab to put in front of you to just stop it from hitting you, and I grabbed that, and it went right into the bowl, and then I thwap onto the ground, and then I sat on it for a couple of hours, because else it would jump out and get at me again.
So can you describe for me how exactly it attacks? Just jumping? That's it? Or is it...
I think it would be a little bit easier to show you, and she kind of shows you her sleeve, where there is a nice big plotch of dried purple paint. Well, obviously this thing had landed on her, and she points out that around the purple, the yellow of her clothes looks kind of faded compared to the rest of her. Almost like, some of the colour, some of the ink had maybe been drained out a little bit.
Okay.
Well, that's concerning. Maybe you should see a doctor for that. Maybe just a little bit.
Oh, yes,
I don't think that's normal.
Oh, it's not right. I get an appointment to get it repainted. It's all good. Don't worry.
I need to roll something for Crystal upon seeing that.
One thing that I'm getting here is we can't let it touch us.
That's not
That's
missing.
nice.
That's missing a D.
Yeah, I do not think letting it touch you is a very good idea, no.
Okay. No, she's good. She's fine.
You good? Okay.
Yep. She's being a professional. This is fine. This is fine.
Are you sure you don't want to go asking any questions with that 23?
No, that was a whiz save. That was a upon seeing what the damage done was.
But yeah. Overall, Priscilla is not too fussed with everything that's happened. Just mostly like, oh yes, this was an interesting adventure, sort of thing. But like, okay, she got a little bit hurt, but she will recover. She can get like her shirt painted back in or colourful again. It's fine. She's good. So you taking this thing with you? Am I keeping it? Is this Jeremy too, or what is happening?
No, we are going to take this so that it cannot hurt you anymore. I don't believe letting something that has hurt you stay near you is a good thing.
I don't know if it's particularly wise to be taking it back to where the other one is, though. Perhaps we should drop it off on the way there with the paint.
That is a good point. Yes. I can also have Binky run it back. If
that could work.
Okay. She puts all of these things in like as neat of a stack as she can, and she bends down to Binky, who has just been like tailing behind her the entire time, just the purest of puppy eyes staring up at her. Very robotic, but very cute. Binky, take this back to the to Miss Penn. Let her know what we found out, as much as you've probably comprehended. I don't know. You know what? Don't worry about that. We'll explain to Miss Penn about what's going on later. Just take this. Just take it back, and don't let anybody open that thing up or use the paint. And she pokes the side of one of Binky's ears. They go up. The eyes seem to glow a little bit. Binky grabs the things, and Binky's off.
Excellent.
Very quick question. You said it was put in a fishbowl, didn't you?
Yeah, like
So,
specifically
no.
upside down fishbowl with books, like heavy books weighing it down.
so as your little robo puppy is running along, is it running along with the books on its back and then the fishbowl on the top? How is it?
Did you find a
is
way to
this
seal the fishbowl? Yeah, I was going to ask this.
Yes.
It's just a
Okay.
wobbling stack of books with the fishbowl on top.
Honestly, I imagine that she probably asked for some tape or some duct tape and just like wrapped it all around to keep the books on top of it.
My problem is the bottom is against the floor, isn't it? The open end?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh god. Okay.
What you need to do is, like, in the same way that you extract spiders with, like, a cup and a piece of paper.
Yes. That's what you need to do.
Who has the best sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Juniper knows she's clumsy. I don't think she would do that.
I mean, if you're all hesitant to touch it, whilst you all have been talking, I've been quite quiet, but whilst you all have been talking, Eenie, Miney and Mo have been snooping about a little bit. With a nat 20, apparently. They've also been trying to find containers and stuff. Because when you said how you caught it, they were like, "All right, time for us to go ahead and get ourselves geared up." So they've been looking for stuff like that. And
I was gonna say, with a 20, you kind of wandered off and you found this little kitchen, like a little kitchenette at the side of the studio, and you're poking about in some of the cupboards, and you find some like plastic food containers.
Nice, give me some Tupperware.
Oh, this is amazing.
I love this.
And when they come back, they're gonna come back, and you're gonna see they have in their mouths. I should probably roll a con for this because they got a little munchy whilst they were looking around because it's been a busy day already. And okay, nat 20, very nice. You come in and they have on their back they've got like a stack of Tupperware boxes, and you see all three heads have a cookie in their mouth and just having a good old munch. And they come back in and they see you sort of looking at this bowl tentatively, and they quickly chew on these very cookies and swallow, and they're like, you need any help with that? Yeah, we've got some transport if you need it. We thought it'd be a good idea to get some of these for when we need to shepherd them into some sort of container. We thought they might do. They're gonna come over and they're just gonna flop down on the floor, and the stack of containers is just gonna topple next to them in a clatter. And you ask them to, they'll try and finesse this thing into one of the boxes.
Okay, so Crystal had been about to like go off at them about where on earth like picking things up that they shouldn't. Her respect for you raised slightly with that talk, and then lowered again when they dropped to the floor.
As it should be. Apology not.
I love this.
This is very good. Alright. Yep, give me sleight of hand roll to see if you can get it in the container, and then I'm gonna need a strength check to see if you can keep it in there. That's a crit fail.
Oh,
Yes.
Right, so the thing is free.
What happens is they just go, all right, we get it out, and they just flip. They put their beaks underneath the fishbowl and they just flip it into the air. Seemed the quickest way to get it out.
Yeah,
You said you wanted it out.
You weren't wrong. This thing immediately after is free is going to launch itself at your face like a fucking face hugger from Aliens. So, please make a dex saving throw.
Cool. Oh, that's good. This would be hilarious if I failed this.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna say, like, it launches at your middle head, which ducks down, and it just right flying right over the top. And I'm gonna make a quick what dex did I give you? Okay, it was 7. Flies over Priscilla, who was probably standing a little bit behind you as this goes, also sees this and like probably actually doesn't even bother seeing it, just does this kind of like, oh, like ducks down without even looking, and then like stands up as this thing flies overhead and goes splat onto the floor. We are not going to start combat because I don't want to get bogged down in it, but does anyone want to really quickly do something before this launches itself at the next person?
Crystal is going to cast Ray of Frost at it.
All right.
Which is that's just a normal attack roll.
I didn't make a DC for the small blob. I didn't think you'd be setting it free.
Well, they
I would say a 20 hits. A 20 definitely hits.
That's 2d8 of cold damage.
All right, and that I'm gonna tell you right now, considering that hit, you are actually gonna be freezing this thing solid. You do not have to roll me that damage there. Because this small one, because like when I say small, now that it is out of the fishbowl, it looked a bit bigger in the fishbowl, mostly because it had left little splat stains all on the glass. Now that it's out, you notice that when I say this thing's tiny, it's tiny. It's probably only like a 3-inch cube at most. This thing has frozen solid now, and you have a little frozen ice cube of purple now. Well done.
Well, we know that the cold works.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo are gonna pick up a Tupperware container. They're gonna come over to it and they're gonna clonk it down. And Eenie is gonna pick it up and gently put it in the Tupperware box. And do you all want to let me see? Can I do this? No, never mind. You're gonna hear Mo say, "Oh, it's so cute. Can we keep it?" No, we can't keep it. We're supposed to be killing them, but it's so small and tiny. It can't survive on its own. We can't keep it. No, it's just a blob of paint. But guys, it's so small. As they put it in the box and seat it up.
Please have a point of inspiration because that's really cute. Like not just for like for that definitely, but also just for all the other little conversations that you've been having with yourself through the entirety of the game, because it's fucking delight.
Thank you. That will come in handy, hopefully.
Yep. All right. So you have frozen paint blob in a jar. Well, not in a jar, in a Tupperware container, and and Priscilla will hand over all like the half-used tubes of ultraviolet paint that she's been using. Congratulations, you have achieved all goals for the art studio.
Nice.
With minimal damage, at least.
Yeah, you got to pay for the door. You are gonna have to pay for the door.
Actually, can I try and do something before they leave? Eenie, Miney, and Mo are gonna, as they walk out, they're gonna say, "Oh, right, yeah, we're sorry about the door. Hang on, let's see if we can and they're gonna, what do you want me to roll to see if they can put this thing back in the frame?
I want strength to see if you can lift it, and then give me fucking dex just to see if you can get it back actually on the hinges or if everything's fucked.
Okay, cool.
Juniper is just standing there.
Crystal has her head in her hands.
Okay, I'm gonna say all their strength was in their legs, because they're probably gonna try and shove all 3 heads underneath the door, and they just flick their beaks up, and it just goes, and it lands back on their beaks, and they're just like, hang on, hang on, hang on, as they try to flick this thing up.
Okay, you're gonna be stuck there like that unless someone else wants to intervene.
Please stop. Please, the door has had enough.
I think
I will come back and fix it if you want me to after this.
I think Crystal is beginning to walk down the street.
Don't blame her.
Okay, I think You guys are just like coming back and fixing it later was probably a good idea, especially as like it was Juniper that said that. So good news is Plinkton's not even going to, as long as you do clarify that you got to come back after the end of this whole thing and fix that door. She's not even going to like announce the broken door to Pens and demand money for getting it fixed, because you know what, she likes you, Juniper. She less likes the other two, but like especially Eenie, Miney, and Mo. But like Juniper, you are good. You have she likes you.
Juniper is lovely.
Juniper is wonderful.
Juniper is not going to charge Miss Flink for the door, but she is still going to leave a business card on anywhere that Miss Flink says it's okay to just leave it, and she will absolutely just like put the door to the side, make quick like amendabilities for it, and then just I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will come back after this to fix your door for you.
It was a
Probably with a replacement.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, my dear. I'll see you again soon. Bye. As you guys head off. And as we've just hit the 1.5 hour mark, do we want to take a 5-minute break and then come back for the second half of things?
I would like this.
Alrighty, we will be right back, everybody. This is great. I'm loving this so far.
Cool.
Right, let's go get some tea.
I'm a munch. I'm so sorry, guys. Juniper is chatty as hell.
I am adoring this so much. I'm apologizing because I knew Crystal was going to be like difficult for people to deal with. But I'm just really loving how much this is like the people have been interacting, like bouncing off of each other. It's been great.
Yes. I also love like Crystal and Juniper being super smart, but yet also Eenie, Miney, and Mo and Juniper being dumbasses.
Yeah, I will say, Crystal does have some respect for Juniper. She does not have any respect for Eenie, Miney, and Mo.
God, all of you, my beloveds. Mm. I also
Liz,
feel kind of bad. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say, if Liz is there, I'm currently going through the gallery, and I adore that art you did of Crystal.
Liz art good, ma'am. I have many hills I would die on, and Liz's art being very good and tasty is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Wah. Don't wah. Wah, we love you! Fight me. In the very Denny's parking lot. We have love cannons.
Have I missed anything exciting?
We're
No.
we're love bombing Liz.
That's because
Yeah.
Liz is astounding and amazing, and we all love Liz.
Yes.
So wonderfully creative, amazing artist, amazing player, amazing person.
Yes.
By the way, Liz, are you aware that you have reached 50 games?
Look, you've been in so many now.
So has Babble.
What?
You have reached 50 games as of this month.
What the fuck?
Babble, is this like your 51st game? Congratulations.
What the fuck?
Congrats.
Hooray! Oh fuck! Okay. Didn't realize that I had dived that deeply into games, but also I regret nothing. I am here to be gay, do crimes, cause chaos.
Like, to be fair, I think that's probably the goals of like 90% of the people on this server, and it's great and I love it.
There's a reason the server is fondly referred to as full of gremlins and shenanigans and chaos.
And far too many people trying to cause angst. Why would you have angst when you can just have bullshit like what we've been doing so far today?
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, no, this is me speaking as an angst writer, don't worry. I'm joking.
I figured I'm also joking.
Says Kai, who ran the net train
Yeah.
and the Odyssey.
Yeah, I've already murdered many people.
Oh yeah, that was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Kai, if you're down, would you want some Juniper lore?
I absolutely, while we're waiting for Dewp to come back, absolutely, give me all the lore.
I will give you some good lore. I don't know how much you know about Jackie lore, though. This does tie into the web.
I would like all the lore anyway. Even look, the thing is, even if I don't know necessarily what the heck is going on at any given time, I want to know anyway.
I feel that on such a deep level. Here. Alright, so for context for everybody, Mar's a bitch. You probably have no idea who Mar is. Don't worry about it. You'll know in time. I know you do, Candle.
Ooh, that's fun.
Hello.
Hello.
That's fun, and
Hello.
I'm a little bit clear now.
Hello. One moment, Babble's got to finish hurting me before we can go back to the game.
I am
Oh,
always down to
Babble.
murder.
That's right. I'm currently having food right now, so I don't mind.
No, that is fair. Like, I need breakfast soon too, to be quite honest.
Okay, should eat.
They did not have time before the game. I think I'm gonna do it
I'll pat
afterwards
you
because
softly.
it's fine.
I have a wonderful partner who brought me food.
Lucky.
Oh.
I think my wonderful partner is conspiring to bring me food in a moment anyway, so...
Good. I'm giving you angsty details.
It's excellent. Excellent! This is very much fun, Babble. This is very much fun. It's
Yes,
not...
now you understand that.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily, again, like, this is a fucking delight and I want to see more, and I want, like, see Juniper in more games, because I don't think there's, other than the lore that we've already done, I don't think we're going to be getting much into lore today.
Fair.
Alright. We good to keep going? everyone good to play again?
Yep, I'm good.
Alrighty. In that case, onwards you head to the art museum. I just want to double check. Juniper, you did send your wonderful little robot friend with the frozen paint and the paint tubes back to the factory, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you don't.
I just wanted to say sorry. As you when you leave and you take the Tupperware box with the little tiny frozen ice paint blob in it, and you take it from Eenie, Miney, and Mo, you're gonna see a little sad expression on Mo's face as you take it away and give it to your little robo dog to take away, and he's gonna go, "Bye, little fella."
Aw.
That thing would kill you in a heartbeat if given the chance, son. I'm sorry.
Sometimes you just need to give it a little love. And Mo, listen to her. She's right, mate. It's probably not going to be a very good pet, but it looks so small with the fences. And they're gonna keep on like that for a
Honey?
while all the way to the museum.
Honey, look at me.
Mo
There
looks
are
at you.
some people in this world that it doesn't matter the amount of love that you give to them. They're only going to hurt you.
It doesn't mean you can't still try. Even if it hurts, isn't it worth it? No? Mo, stop it. Don't start this nonsense again. Come on, Mo. We need to keep going.
Not always.
Mo's just gonna turn their head away from you, Juniper.
Poor Mo. I'm guessing.
Mo is so...
Crystal, a whole fucking street ahead, not wanting to listen to any of this. Just keep walking.
She
I do not know
she
these
would
people.
have she would have waited just long enough to see if they were coming and then is just ignoring them. She is listening though. I will say she is listening, which is a step up.
Okay. Everything is fine. And she's not going to say anything else after, no, it's not. And she's just going to walk on.
This is meant to be a shenanigans game.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I can't help it. It just happens.
It just happens. Look, we don't control the stories, the characters and the dice do. Alright. Yeah, so you say goodbye to the little blob and the empty paint, ultra violent. Again, this whole fucking game literally just spawned because I made a typo.
The best kind of games.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
The
gonna
best
lie, my
sort of
brother
games.
thought it was a Clockwork Orange reference.
No. I've never read A Clockwork Orange. I should at some point because I know it's one of those ones I'm gonna have opinions on. But anyway, you guys head to the art museum. You get there and you find that it is locked down. There are security guards guarding the main entrance to keep people from going in because by this point, there are definitely tunes going. Ooh, there's excitement happening in there, and just the crowd of sort of around the outside of things.
Okay. Eenie, Miney, and Mo, seeing this crowd, they're gonna march straight up towards the front doors, see if they can find whoever's in charge, and go, "Excuse me." Sorry, what was that, Babble?
Sorry, I'm talking to my cat.
Kitty pets.
He's in my way now because I gave him bongo time. But hold on.
It's very valid. What's I saying? Yes, right. So Eenie, Miney, and Mo, they're gonna find whoever looks like they're in charge, the most in charge person they can find. They're gonna walk right up to them and they're gonna say, "Excuse me, my team and I have been hired to come in here and help you with your little problem." And they're gonna.
This is lovely. I just wanna. Crystal did probably get there before the rest of you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
do you do anything first?
Please tell me you still do this and you come up to the same person that Crystal is talking to.
Oh, absolutely. I've got to try and find you because you're part of the team. You don't separate the team.
Excellent. So yeah, Crystal, you've already walked up to the security guard that looks like they've got the most amount of like shiny gold stuff on their outfit, and they're just kind of like, sorry ma'am, no public access at this time, we have a minor incident going on, please stay back, it could be dangerous.
Yes, I'm aware. We have been sent by Paints to deal with the problem, and I think it's at that point that Eenie, Miney, and Mo can walk up.
Yeah.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo come walking up like a looming shadow comes up from behind you, Crystal, and you turn around and you just see this very tall figure standing above you. And they're gonna reach into their ruff again, and they're gonna pull out the badge again that they had earlier, and they're gonna flash it at the security guard and say, "My team and I are here to help you with your little problem. So it would be best if you let us in. Do our job." And they flash a winning smile.
She's gonna, oh, for the love of all things holy.
And the thing is, because you pulled out the badge, you are actually going to be allowed in. The security guard is going to go like, oh yes, of course, I'm glad you're here. Like, is someone to sort this? Because I certainly don't want to be doing it myself. Yeah, could just like go in. It's just the receptionist in there. They'll help you, and like he guides you in. But yeah, because the thing is, Crystal, the next thing he was about to ask you is like, do you have any identification or proof of like this? And then fucking Eenie, Miney, and Mo come along.
She would have pulled out the contract from her hammer space if it had been required, but this works too.
Yep,
She's a little bit salty that it worked, but it works.
Look, that badge is...
Go ahead,
Babble.
I was gonna say, like, after Eenie, Meenie, Miny, Mo comes over like a shadow, Juniper comes up like a bigger shadow, essentially being intimidating. But she's just gonna walk in once she sees the door open and just be like, I'm going with them.
Alright, and yet the guard gestures slips you through the doors and quickly closes the door again behind you with a loud dong. The security guard stays outside. It is now just you three in the museum, and can you give me a real quick perception check, everyone?
Boy.
You said it was dark?
Yeah, like not dark as in, oh no, it's so dark that you can't see, but it's a lot dimmer than it is outside.
Okay, if they can still see, then yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's an 8 from Juniper, which ain't great. And a 10.
Yeah, we're all doing great.
And a 5 from Eenie, Miney, Mo. Okay, so none of y'all notice anything other than it's a dark it's a bit dark. It's you kind of hard to see. Everything is echoing because you've got hard marble floors. It's a little bit spooky in here with the lights out and no one around. And this is an art museum. There are the person who takes the most notice of this is obviously going to be Crystal with that 10. Is you notice that there are 3 galleries. Like this, you are kind of in like the little atrium area. There is a receptionist desk. There's like a little gift shop to the side, and then there are 3 corridors, big hallway display areas coming out from the atrium, one to the left, one in front, and one to the right. And that is all the information you're getting.
Okay, I've got to roll something quickly. Good. Okay, that was always safe.
Excellent.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo, upon seeing the gift shop, they're gonna all perk and go, oh, goodies! I mean, we might as well have a look. You know, it's very good to make sure that none of the actual goods sold here are damaged. It could damage the marketability of some of their items, and they're just gonna wander over into the gift shop.
It is your average art museum gift shop. They're like postcards of the famous pieces of art. A couple of little statues and everything of like, it is your average museum gift shop. There are lots of shiny baubles and they're all very overpriced.
Yeah, Eenie, Miney, Mo are just gonna be looking at everything in here. They're not gonna take anything because they're not thieves. They don't steal stuff. But they are gonna have a good look at all the pretty shinies. Ooh.
Crystal is casting mage armor on herself.
It's
Probably
wise.
for the best. Okay.
Trying to think of what Juniper would do. She has many things that she would like to do, but I think at most she would at the very least like to see. I don't know if her using one of her replicate magic items would help. I'm thinking either goggles of night, but I don't know if it's quite that dark.
No, it's there's just enough light from like the emergency lighting and everything that you can see. So it's not dark, just it. What's a good idea? Like it's dim light. I think is probably a good way to put it.
All right.
Just something I wanted to mention is with the casting of mage armor, Crystal is also implementing arcane ward because she's an abjuration wizard, which means that she has 10 extra hit points.
Nice.
Very nice.
Considering
would
how
you
squishy
say
you
that?
No, you go.
Would you say that being around the paint in the studio was enough for her to know what that particular paint smells like?
Yeah, I would say so.
She's got a good nose. She is a dog. Can she try again to sniff it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
She is absolutely gonna get on all fours to do this, putting her nose to the ground. Nope.
That's so
Okay.
fine. Okay, I think with that, what happens is, you don't manage to sniff out the paint, but as you're walking forward, you're not necessarily paying the most attention, to where you're going here, and you bump into, like, the main, reception desk, and you hear a whimper. Just someone going, oh.
Her ears will absolutely perk up at that, and, well, she doesn't want to loom. Looming is not good. She knows what happens when people loom. She's had that done to her before, so she's just gonna, like, stay on all fours and go around the corner. She is going to also keep her eyes closed. For reasons.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of peer around and you have a look around the receptionist desk, you notice that there is someone just kind of cowering beneath it. And it is the person that is meant to be usually welcoming everyone, handing out the headphones for the audio tours, and answering any questions, sorting the lost and found. It's just like this. They are just a small worn tune, like a mouse, and they just hand underneath their eyes shut, hands over their ears, curled up as small as they can get.
Aww.
Hi. Are you okay? It's okay.
Oh, thank
I'm not
Pen,
going to hurt you.
you're here. Oh yes, you're the people. You're the people here to sort all this. Yeah.
Yes. Come to me. Come to me, please. I'm going to take you out.
Yep, and they will scurry up to you. Considering you're nearly you're 7.5, nearly 8 feet. They don't even come up to your knee.
She's just gonna pick up this and hug them very close, and then just go back the way she came to try and get them out.
Yep. They will just cling to you as you carry them towards the door, and just muttering little thanks and prayers under their breath. At the moment you get to the door, it's just you open it, hand them out. Security guard is oh yeah, you sorry, didn't mean to forget you.
You might want to do a little bit better at that, making sure you evacuate everyone first before you leave. And she is glaring daggers. And her eyes are open this time.
I think the security guard is just Yep, I'll remember that next time, and closes the door again. But at least the receptionist is safe.
Yes. He's gonna do a little puppy kind of bounce all the way back.
Okay.
We should maybe keep our eyes open for anyone else who got left behind.
Yep, I would say so.
Okay. So, in what direction do you want to head? Because as I said, like, you've got east wing, north wing, west wing, and you don't know where this painting could be. There are things you can potentially do to get a good idea of maybe where it was, but as it is, you don't know where to go, because you'll roll shit on your perception.
I have an idea. I just want to know if you guys have anything you guys want to do.
I mean, I'm...
Go first, Babble.
No, you go.
Okay, I didn't have an idea. I was just going to say, as Eenie, Miney, and Mo exit the gift shop, did you two want to roll perception on them quickly?
Where have they obtained more biscuits?
Dang, okay, cool.
Why is it on this that she gets a nat 20?
I mean, Crystal, you don't notice too much.
She's not paying them any attention.
Yeah. Oh god, brain, stop. Juniper, that's it. Sorry, my brain just blanked for a whole second. Juniper, you see them come out, and it's not hard to tell, but as they exit the shop, they're making no noise, and you see they're moving very differently. Like, their whole demeanor seems to have changed since they've come out. They're no longer like happy, super smiley. They all seem to have very serious expressions on their faces. And all three heads seem to be tucked a little down and low, and they move like they're stalking a little bit, but you can't hear anything from them. They are just a silent shadow as they move towards you guys.
She's just watching them, and as soon as they get back to the two of them, she's going to bluntly ask, "You didn't steal anything, did you?"
We didn't steal anything. It's just, well, I mean, we're on a job, aren't we? It's one thing to get distracted and have a look at shiny things, but if there are still people in here, then we can't really afford to look around right now, can we? Wouldn't be very rescue ranger of us two mucking around right now. And yeah, you can roll insight if you want to see they're lying.
Crystal has jumped because she did not expect you to reappear next to her.
I can't believe they're actually being
Juniper.
professional.
Juniper, my beloved. That was her insight.
Okay, hold on. I think this is worth... not bad.
Okay, Juniper, Juniper, they don't seem to be telling a lie from what you can tell. And Crystal, Crystal, you look at them and they do seem to be pretty honest. They seem to be can't see like they're trying to fib to you or anything, or you don't think they're lying about this. You don't think they have taken anything.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so she acknowledges this in her way, which is she doesn't say anything about it.
Fair. And before you guys decide on the direction to go, Eenie and Mo are gonna bend down towards both of you. Well, bend up. Eenie's gonna sort of bend up, stretch the neck a little bit, and Mo's gonna bend down. And they're gonna tap you both on the shoulder with 2 taps. Actually, I don't actually know how high Eenie is from Juniper. I would say he comes up to just about her shoulder. Just about reach the shoulder, I would say.
If you stretch.
You stretch. They do big stretchy. And he does a quick double tap on your shoulder with his beak, and Mo bends down towards Crystal and does a quick double tap on her shoulder, and they're going to cast Bardic Inspiration on both of you. And Miney's going to say, all right, I know it's all been fun and games up till now, but hey, we got a job to do, and if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right, all right? If you need anything, you need us, maybe don't shout to draw attention, but you know, if you need anything, we'll be here for you, all right? And yeah, they're going to cast their Bardic Inspiration on you. So now you both have a d6 to add to a roll.
This is messing with Crystal's perception of you guys.
I'm glad.
Just so I've got a quick note of it going forward, can I grab you guys' passive perception?
11.
Okay. So, right, 11, 12, and 10. Alright, you'll have shit passive perception. This is wonderful. I love this. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay. What direction do you guys want to head in?
Yeah, Crystal's gonna mention, I have detect magic. There's no guarantee it will help us find it, but it may be able to give us a better idea of which direction it's in.
Enie's gonna nod their head and go, might be our best shot to do something like that. If you use that, we can see if we'll be able to track something down. And Kai, if you'd let me, if Crystal rolls uses detect magic, could I then roll survival with advantage to see if we can find this thing?
Yeah, I reckon that sounds really good. That's actually a pretty good plan.
Alright, yep. Yeah, it's 1 action, concentration up to 10 minutes, and you can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you.
Perfect.
Yeah, just for flavor, when she casts this, her eyes begin to glow white, and she has this little, like, necklace hanging down, and that begins to glow a little bit as well.
Oh, I love that. I love the little extra flavor bits. One thing I will note is, there is a little bit of, like, you know, like background radiation? This is like background magical radiation, except it's not going to do you any damage. It's just, this is what living in Inkwell is like. Especially Toontown, because it's so big and so busy, and sometimes buildings do get constructed using a bit of magic, and sometimes various pieces of art have a little bit of magic imbued into them, just to make them look extra pretty. So you do notice a couple of very faint bits glowing here there as you guys are going to be walking around. Various art pieces, sometimes you see like some glittering lights and everything just hovering in midair, and those are obviously using magic to keep them going. But otherwise there's nothing specifically standing out at this point in time.
Before we move forward, do you guys mind if I do something to the door that leads out?
Go ahead.
There's nothing in this area, so I believe we have time.
Okay. There is only one way out, yes?
There is the one main door at the front. There are actually 2 other fire doors in this museum, but they are generally kept locked. Well, not locked, but they're the sort of thing you do have to actively, like, the fire alarms need to be going off before they're going to be opening.
Okay. She's gonna go over to the main entrance door, and she's going to cast Arcane Lock.
Okay. Probably for the best. It does mean that this thing definitely isn't going to be getting out. On the other hand, it does mean that you guys are going to be having a time getting out, and that no reinforcements are going to be able to get in.
Well, she does. She's also setting a password for it, because it says that you can do that.
Oh?
And you can set a password that, when spoken within 5 feet of the object, suppresses the spell for 1 minute.
Nice.
Impassable until it's broken, or the spell is dispelled or suppressed. Casting knock on the object suppresses the arcane lock for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Um,
First up, I need to know the
yeah.
password. On the other, and also, are you doing anything with the password, like putting it on a sticky note on the door?
She is putting it in her notebook, which she is keeping very close to her chest. As in, like, she is just shoving it in her shirt. So
Fair
that she
enough.
doesn't have to sift through her, camera space for it.
Fair enough.
And, what would be a good password for it?
Maybe her whatchamacallit's name? Bibbly?
Binky?
Binky, that's it.
Purpliest purple.
I would normally say Binky, but unfortunately I think that since Binky is going to be here, if she were to shout for Binky, that would unlock the door and give it an opportunity to escape.
Ah, fair enough.
I think she's going to choose TOC.
Oh, oh, Babble! Ah!
I feel like I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing context here, but oh well.
More specifically, the ticked off chicken.
Okay. All right. Anyway, to push this along, because I'm aware that we have been going for a while now. Which corridor did you guys want to head? You've locked the door now. You've made sure that people aren't going to be getting, like, anything is going to be getting in or out. Where do you guys want to head? East, west, or north?
I was gonna say, first of all, does Juniper tell the other two what the password is?
She doesn't say it out loud, just in case the thing is smart enough to understand speech. She shows it to them.
Okay.
Before she puts the notebook away.
Okie dokie. Then second of all, can I still roll with advantage for the survival check to see which way to go?
Yep, you can.
Wait, okay, let's go. Hang on, wait. Discord? Do that. Oh, 22.
Yeah, that was a nat 20.
So that's 20.
Nice. All right. So, with help from Crystal, you notice that, like, while there does seem to be that whole background magic everywhere, you notice that there are a couple of splotches that are more showing up on the detect magic thing than anything else. Because it's dark, you can't see the purple very well. The detect magic makes it glow that little bit, so Crystal can point out that there are a couple of minor splotches of purple paint headed down the east corridor. So that's probably the best way to go.
Cool. So Eenie, Miney, and Mo, they're gonna point all three heads towards the east corridor, and they're gonna say, from what we can pick up, we're seeing something down there, something a little glowy. We might be a good bet to check this area first, and then when we find the thing, well, it's a good roughhousing. And they're gonna give you both a smile and gesture you both onwards.
I'm guessing, like, it's Eenie, Miney, Mo, then, like, Crystal behind them, pointing out some of the magic where it's turning up, and then Juniper, like, bringing up the rear just in case.
Yeah, that sounds like a good formation.
Yeah.
I mean, Eenie, Miney, and Mo would usually go first.
Yeah. That sounds
And
like...
Juniper's honestly more concerned with, like, whether or not there's people who need to escape.
You don't actually see any more people in this place as you are going around. Again, it might just be because they are hiding, it might be because there is no one else here. This is also the point where I was going to make you all do survival rolls to see if you get lost in this place, because art museums are always fucking mazes. but with Eenie, Miney, Mo's nat 20 there, I'm gonna say you can just follow him. And you can follow them, and they're good. You're fine. You may have a bit of trouble if the party gets split, but you have no problem tracing this place out. As you're going around, I have 2 rolls that I need to make real quick. Just to be ominous. So that was a nat 20.
Joy!
I hate that. I don't trust like that.
Alright. Cool. Alright. So, you guys are going to be walking for a little while. It's not like the full 10 minutes that Detect Magic lasts, but it is a while. You're going through corridor after corridor, you keep a couple of turns left and then right and left again, and then you feel like you've just gone in a loop, but no, you're in a completely new place. This art museum is huge. There are some really gorgeous paintings in here, and there are some really weird sort of paintings in here, and you're not quite sure what that is. There are even some of those, even some exhibits that are more photography, and some statues, and art from, different countries all around Inkwell, and it kind of gets to a point of before you were kind of just wound up and nervous because, oh no, you think you're going to get attacked in a second, and now because it has been close to 8 minutes and nothing has really happened, it's up to you whether your character is even more nervous as before because the suspense, or if you're kind of just getting bored and starting to think, oh, this isn't that hard of a challenge. I just want to see, how are you guys all doing, mentally, emotionally, before whatever happens next happens?
Crystal does not trust this. She's like, this is so, this is so sus. I don't like this.
Yep. Okay, same shit as always.
Excellent.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo are... Can I say that their stealth roll from earlier carried over while they're moving through their survival roll, moving through the museum?
I would say you're back to kind of walking. I'll say you're walking a little bit stealthier than the other two, but because you're standing right next to them, there's only so much you can sneak.
Okay, that's fair. So they're basically in hunter mode right now. They've gone a lot quieter than you usually expect from them. They all have very sort of blank faces. Eenie and Mo both have their short swords out, and they look like they're on a hair trigger. Like their eyes are darting around, and they are looking, and they are very aware of their surroundings at the moment.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to mention, Crystal is still glowing, so I'm not sure how much that helps with Eenie, Miney, and Mo's stealth roll.
That's fair.
Juniper is on all fours because that is how she is used to stealthing to an extent. This reminds her of a lot of things, but also she's gotten accustomed to those things. And she's just vibing, alert, looking around, keeping her nose to the ground, while also looking up every once in a while. Her ears are back against her head, but she is still just no, she's pressing onward. She's aware. As aware as she can be.
Fair enough. You guys are doing your best and you've got your eyes out, but sadly, you guys all have really shit passive perception. And this thing rolled a nat 20 on its stealth. So, what happens is you guys are walking down yet another corridor lined with paintings when Crystal, out of the very corner of your vision, and when I say corner, I mean upwards, you get this briefest flash of glow as you see something on the ceiling moving and it is definitely magical, and you don't even get time to shout out about it before this thing drops directly on top of you.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay.
Remember, you do have the bardic inspiration I gave you though, and that's only 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
you can use that if you want.
Probably will need to use it soon. How long have we been wandering around the hall?
I said
it was.
I said 8 minutes.
Alright. So it will still be up, but not for long. Okay, Dex.
Nat 20, but we still got that disadvantage.
Oh,
And a crit
okay.
fail.
I don't think
no.
adding the bardic inspiration's gonna help.
It really isn't.
Oh,
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Candle, Crystal, you barely get a second before you are completely engulfed in purple, and even with your detect magic running, it is purple as this thing gets you. And you are because you are small and because this thing is huge, you are going to be having a bit of trouble breathing at the moment, so you're going to want to break through soon because mechanically you are unable to breathe, mechanically you are grappled and restrained, and you're also about to take a bunch of damage, and I'm really fucking sorry for this.
Oh boy, she has a -2 in strength.
Oh no.
Please take 11 necrotic damage as you feel ink drained from you as this ultra-violent purple attacks you. And as extra flavor, because this isn't just ultra-violent paint. This was actually specifically a masterpiece done by a fantastic artist. And to the other two, I'm gonna need you two to make quick con saves just really quick as you turn around and see this happen in the middle of your little group there.
Okay,
Golly.
well, that is the entirety of her bonus HP down, but that does mean that she only takes 1 point of damage
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yep. Alright, both Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and Juniper, you guys succeed on your con saves, so you will not be taking any psychic damage at the sight of this, because while the thing that you fought before, that teeny little blob of purple, was pretty shapeless, this is obviously meant to have something of a shape. You can see how it curves and twines together. You can see things that are almost faces, but not quite. You can see how the painting has obviously what was meant to look like a painting has peeled itself off its frame and has come to life. And Juniper, because you were the one talking to Plinked earlier, you already know the title of this artwork, and it is The Hug. And it is certainly embracing Crystal right now, or rather, engulfing her.
She's
Roll
not
initiative.
having very good luck with hugs today.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone roll initiative.
Ooh,
Man.
this is good.
Well,
Like
that means that
this.
I get to do an awful pun.
Oh god, how did this thing get a fucking 23?
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, we've got
We've got they got the splodge. Eenie, Mo,
and
Crystal,
Mo.
and then
Juniper, my beloved.
Juniper, our beloved. Oh, puppy.
Alright.
Eminem.
So the Hug, having just had its surprise round, is going to attack again, and it's actually going to, one of its arms is going to pry itself free from where it has been engulfing Crystal and lash out to probably Juniper, because Juniper's bigger and therefore more scary, and is just going to go slam you against you and try and bash you into a wall, which is
It probably doesn't help that her eyes, because she is now angry, match the color of this thing.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm guessing a
no.
24
And
hits.
slow. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Please take 8 damage as this thing extrudes like one of its tendrils and just slams into you, sending you slamming back. Oh, not mechanically so, but you just got whacked by some rather violent paint.
Yeah.
Crystal, you are still engulfed, and Eenie, Miney, and Mo, it's your turn. There's a thing to attack now.
Cool. Just as a little aside, the minute this thing shows up, Miney's gonna turn a quick eye towards Mo and say, "You still want to keep one as a pet, Mo?" And Mo's just gonna sort of twitch their head a little bit. Can't speak because they've got a sword in their mouth right now. Yeah, they're gonna say that, and then they are gonna go at this thing. They're just gonna launch themselves at this. Let me have a look. There's an action. I don't want to do that. Yeah, they're gonna find where Crystal is in this thing. Is Crystal like in the center of this thing?
Yeah,
or is
basically.
It grabbed by an arm?
Right, again,
okay.
like mechanically, Crystal has been like grappled and restrained, but this thing is basically wrapped all around Crystal.
Right, okay. So what they're gonna do then? They're just gonna straight up attack this thing. They are gonna attack, and let's see, what's that feature? Where are you? They've got 2-weapon fighting as well. So I'm gonna roll. Sorry, bear with me a second. I'm trying to figure out rolls.
Yeah, no problem.
First attack. Sure that is correct before we do it. Cool. 25 hit.
Yeah, I would say. Wait, one moment. Yeah, I would say 25 hits. What I do have to ask, what are you attacking with?
A short sword.
Okay, cool.
So Eenie is gonna jump ahead, and Enie's just gonna swing their sword at the center, not directly towards Crystal because they don't want to accidentally hit Crystal, but they're gonna like cut just a little to the side of Crystal where she's in this thing to try and get a gap out, and I'm gonna roll damage. Not the damage, that's the damage.
All right.
So,
that's an
whack.
8.
Then I'm going to do another one because they are dual wielding at the moment. Mo's got his sword out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, they have a feat or an ability, 2-weapon fighting, so I can add my ability modifier to the damage of my second attack. So if this hits, I can add. What's my ability on this one? I believe I can add a +3 onto it, so it'd be a D6 +6.
Mm-hmm. I don't like. I would say so. I'm going to be pretty lenient about this here. So
that's a nat 20.
Yep, that hits.
So
That's a critical.
Apparently they're very incensed this thing has dropped down from the ceiling and just globbed one of their teammates. They are not having this. They have just formed this team. They are not losing a teammate already. They refuse. And they are gonna roll.
Yeah,
so
for a critical, roll twice the number of damage dice.
So 2d6 +6.
Yeah. Oh well, it would be +3 if that's your normal bonus.
Alright, okay. 2d6. Second. 2d6. 3. Then. That's 10. And then I get to plus another 3 onto it afterwards. The ability modifier. No, that would be that one. So 13 damage. No, 23 damage.
Wait,
so,
what?
All in all. So no, sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, no, that is 13. Sorry, I had a brain fart. So
Okay.
all in all, they've done 21 damage.
Okay. Well, it's yes and no. The answer's more no.
Oh.
You've actually only done 11 damage. Because the thing about oozes that you will notice after you make these attacks is that when you kind of slice bits off, the bits kind of just and become part of the whole again. So you have dealt some damage, and it's not happy as paint goes splattering about all over the place. But you haven't dealt as much damage as you'd think.
Oh, as they're gonna back up from that, they're gonna realize, oh no, this thing hasn't taken as much damage as they thought it would. They thought this thing would just like slice into bits, and it's just reforming. They're gonna just back up like 5-10 feet a little bit, and they're gonna keep their eye on it. Also gonna shout over to Juniper. Juniper, you all right?
My guess is that she's probably being strangled.
I mean, like, she mechanically, she cannot breathe, so I don't think you can really answer.
Oh gosh. Oh no, it's only Eenie, Miney, and free. Oh gosh.
I'm sorry.
Be interesting.
It's okay, she has an idea.
That's good, because I don't think Crystal can do anything from the inside because she can't speak.
Yeah.
Because she can't breathe. So her only option is try and break free, and yep, I'm gonna do that now.
Yep. Oh boy. You also have, like, fucking... Yeah, I'm sorry. 2 is definitely not enough. You barely managed to, like, wriggle slightly as this thing continues to engulf you. I'm sorry. You don't even have any bonus actions or anything that you can do here because, like, you can't do shit.
Yeah, I will probably just mention she has dropped the detect magic because that was concentration.
Yeah.
She's definitely not concentrating on it anymore.
Nope.
Gosh.
Yeah, Juniper.
Can she cast grease on herself? Is that something that she can do or no?
I think you can cast it centered on yourself, but I don't think so. Like, you would be covered it, but so would the floor as well.
Kai?
Yeah?
I think she will take that over still being in this thing's grasp, or at least having a harder time.
Did Crystal need to take damage at the end of her turn?
Oh, wait, yes, you are correct. You should have not said anything so that you could get away with not taking more fucking life leech damage, but oh well.
Where's the fun in that?
Thank you for being a good player and reminding me. Well, I can't fucking type. I nearly rolled 23 d10 there instead of, just 3.
Yeah, please don't do that.
So please take another 7 necrotic damage.
Okay. Could be worse.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna cast grease on herself. Definitely centered on herself. That way it'll be easier for her to get out on her next turn, and harder for this thing to keep a hold of her. Also harder for it to move without, slamming into anything else.
Wait, are you planning on just diving into this thing?
No, she just wants to try and slip out of its grasp if she can.
No, Juniper, you're not grappled or anything. You like, it hit you before, so it just whacked you back. It didn't actually grab a hold of you.
Oh. Okay.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, you know what? That sounds like a really stupid idea, and she might dive in to go and get.
Oh my god.
It is still pretty fun.
I mean, she might need the help.
So please, both of you remember, you've got your d6s as well from the bardic. Don't forget those.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is. I don't think it was going to be helpful so far with what she's rolled.
I don't think she can take any more actions after she casts that on herself. But she is getting ready to run towards this thing. She's not going to yet until her next turn.
I love this so much. Okay, Yeah,
And she has a hammer.
yeah, okay. So if you just like you roll to attack, what what are you doing?
Wait,
Wait.
isn't casting grease an action?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Why was my brain saying it was a bonus action? All right, so yeah, you cast grease. You now are now a very very greasy dog. Do you want to use any of your movement or any bonus actions or anything?
I don't even know if she has any bonus actions, does she? Actions. It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
I mean,
Please, in that case, please give me a dexterity saving throw to make sure you don't immediately fall over. Now that you have been greased,
alrighty.
I will be
Please,
nice
Juniper.
and say that.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a
Oh.
-1.
Oh no, Juniper!
Okay. Juniper, you immediately fall prone as your feet just go out from underneath you. And, you know, this ooze, who is immune from feet falling over because it doesn't actually have feet, is entirely fine. As it kind of just looks down at you like, what the fuck?
I mean, if it's confused, then that's good.
Yep, that's something at least. Okay. This thing's gonna have another go. It's not gonna bother hitting you again. Actually, I don't think it's gonna hit Juniper again because you've already fallen over, and it was Eenie, Miney, and Mo that dealt damage last time. So it's gonna have a go at whacking you.
Ooh,
An 18
that
hits?
hits.
Yeah,
That
okay.
hits.
That's what was that? D8 plus 3? I've immediately already... D10 plus 3. Please take 13 bludgeoning damage. I'm so sorry.
Cool, this thing is killing us. That's good. So that will be cool. Alright, they take that knock.
Yep, okay. And it continues, like, I was like, Crystal doesn't actually take any damage until the, end of her turn, so, but, for flavor text, this thing continues trying to slowly digest Crystal.
Okay. Eenie, Miney, and Mo, I believe it's their turn.
Yep.
They are seeing that. They have no idea what the heck Juniper is planning, covering themselves in grease and then just falling over. They're seeing them fall and realizing this situation is getting very out of hand very quickly. They're gonna try and step. They're gonna try and move between Juniper and this giant mass of paint. And let's see. Let me just check some bonus actions I might have. Can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Nope, not on that one. They're going to do something they probably should have done earlier. They're going to cast Chaos Bolt at this thing. So what you're going to do, you're going to see the two swords in Eenie and Mo's mouth start to spark a little and draw a line to Mo's mouth, to Miney's mouth, and Miney's just going to open his mouth and launch this Chaos Bolt at them with a shout. And so I need to roll to hit, which is going to be. He's hit.
24 hits.
Hit.
That hits.
Nice, they're doing well today. They can hit on a hit. So target takes 2d8 plus 1d6. Choose one of the d8s, then I'll roll the die in terms of the attack damage below. So I've got to roll a d8 first to see what damage type the Chaos Belt comes out as. 5, which is lightning damage. And so then I can do. That's not what I wanted to do. So 16 damage.
Okay, yeah, 16 damage. This is a magical attack as well, which, yeah, sorry, please do remind me, what type of damage is that?
It was lightning damage.
Lightning. Okay, so no, that doesn't add extra, which is, 16 damage. Alright, this thing, that hit. That hurt. This thing is not looking nearly as good as it did before. You haven't quite bloodied it yet, but you dealt some fucking damage, and I'm actually just gonna roll real quick as you hit this thing, just to see how Crystal's going in there, basically.
I have aimed at the same spot that they hit before to try and weaken that area near Crystal to maybe try and give them advantage to try and get out better next turn.
Alright, well, it rolled really shit just then, so the good news is, as it kind of flinches away from this damage, it pulls back just enough that Crystal, you can breathe and speak and move your arms again, if you please. You are still technically grappled, but you are at least half out of this thing.
That's alright, that's enough. She's gonna cast, now that she can actually breathe and speak, she's gonna cast Misty Step.
Ooh.
Hey!
Nice.
And
can you actually do the step that you need to do Misty Step, though?
briefly surrounded by silvery mist, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see.
Alright. Where do you want to teleport to, then?
Probably a little bit behind Eenie, Miney, Mo. Eenie, Meenie, Miney, Mo, and sort of like beside Juniper.
Alright. Well, because the thing is, Juniper is currently flat on the floor. If you go behind Eenie, Miney, and Mo, you're going to be on the opposite side of the creature to Juniper, because, like, of the way that you guys were in a line before.
Okay. So opposite side to Juniper, but behind Eenie, Miney, and Mo?
Yep.
Alright, that's fine. That she just doesn't want to be quite right next to it.
Yeah. Valid.
And yeah, if that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so you are now protected by Eenie, Miney, Mo. Juniper, you are still on the floor.
That was a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, she's gonna briefly go, thanks to Eenie, Miney, and Mo before she's gonna cast Ray of Frost.
Ooh. Alright.
Nice.
Roll to attack.
I might add the Bardic Inspiration to that if it's not too late.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll let you add it in afterwards. The good news is that was actually just enough that this does hit.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Not fantastic, but the good news is, as you've already found out, these things aren't good with cold damage, so that's actually doubled. Yeah, this thing ain't looking good. This thing is not looking good. It's still definitely got hit points, but you notice, like, as it gets hit with this blast of cold, you notice half of it seems to freeze up and then chips off and, splatters and little icicle tinkles onto the ground, and you hear it scream, which is pretty weird considering it's just paint, and so far the only noises it's been making have been like glorping and slurping noises as it moves about. But you hear this horrendous, like, wet scream as it loses half of itself. And
Can I roll insight? Or would that be an action on my turn to do that?
Realistically, that's an action on your turn.
Alright, don't worry about it then.
Yeah. But Juniper, you are up, you are prone, so you do, if you want to stand up, it is going to take like half your movement and also a dex save.
Does she have to stand up to cast a spell?
Nope.
Okay. She has an idea. I don't think Crystal's gonna like it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Crystal, if I cast Firebolt and make the alarms go off, can you hit one of the sprinklers in a way that might make the water turn to ice instead to spray this thing down?
I mean, this is. Do we even know if it has sprinklers?
I mean, if it's got a fire alarm and this is a building, I'm assuming that it has sprinklers?
I mean, are you an Izzet engineer, Babble? Is Juniper an Izzet engineer? Because they have
She's a
advantage on
mechanic.
Oh, mechanic, okay.
But
Mine.
also, she's built ships before, and ships nowadays, I'm guessing, she's built like futury ships specifically as well. Those futury ships did have fire sprinklers.
Guess it's quite cool then.
I
This is
would
an
say,
art gallery,
considering,
so
like,
think
yeah,
that-
this is an art museum, they've got some pretty high-tech stuff in here to, you know, protect the art. I reckon, yeah, there would be sprinklers, and the sprinklers are carefully placed to, you know, not actually hit any of the art things themselves. So, yeah, if you want to pull the fire alarm.
Oh, she's not gonna pull a fire alarm. She's gonna hit this thing with a firebolt to make the thing smoke in hopes that it'll make it go off.
Okay, roll to attack then, I guess, or do I have to roll to dodge?
Let me see. Because I don't think she's gonna be able to get up. And I think she also knows that she's not gonna be able to get up.
Oh no.
Cool. Quick question. Don't you have grease cast on yourself?
Exactly. She
You're casting fireball? You sure? Are you sure about this?
I do just want to say grease does not actually make you flammable.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. She doesn't necessarily mind too much if she hits the creature. If she hits the ceiling, she's fine. That actually might be better. Because it's closer to the sprinklers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, hold on, let me make that.
Wait, did you actually make an attack roll for this, or did I have to dodge? Or oh no, wait,
I
was
was about to make an
oh
attack
yeah.
roll.
So yeah, please, if you. Okay, a 17 is enough to hit the hug if you want it to.
She wants it to.
Okay.
She's gonna make it hit the top of the hug, though.
Okay.
Which sucks, and specifically the painting part of it.
Yeah.
Because she
Alright.
knows that's flammable.
Alright, yeah, so you hit the pain. Please.
I'm sorry, Miss Fling.
No, please roll me damage.
It's a flaming hug.
It's a flaming frozen hug.
Oh man. And it's 5th level, so it's a 2d10.
It's been lightninged, it's been frozen, and now it's getting burnt. That's a 13.
13.
Hey, you
Oh,
want to know
dear.
something really fun? Because, like, this thing is vulnerable to fire damage as well. Because it's paint. So what
Yup.
you've effectively done is you've just dried it up. So you've frozen it, half of it, like you've zapped it with lightning, it recoiled, you froze it, chunk fell off, and then you've set it on fire, and this thing has just gone whoosh and then dried up and then crumbled into paint dust. And congratulations, you've killed the paint monster.
Did you set off the fire alarm?
You know
Yes.
what? Yes, I would say the fire alarm does go off here. You have not set off the fire alarm for the whole building, it's only like the sprinkler directly above you guys. So now you are all very soggy, and the paint is slowly kind of just like spreading out on the floor. But it is no longer paint enough for it to attack you anymore. Congratulations, we are out of initiative.
Lovely. Okay.
Juniper's just gonna
Immediately-
flop back.
Immediately, Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
But
Carl.
I was going to say, let's say that this sprinkler's going off also wash away the final effects of the grease spell so that you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Also,
It's got
probably
shake.
the excess paint on Crystal.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to imagine just the grease mixing with the paint on the floor, and it's like, oh, that could be a new exhibit.
The new exhibit, the time that we all killed the hug.
Yep.
Night, 3 heroes made art on the floor.
Well done. Well done.
Oh,
She is gonna put on her shades of I don't give a fuck, and she's gonna say like, "Now I'm all for a hug, but that was just a bit too smothering."
Boo.
Eenie, Miney, and Mo, upon hearing this, they're just gonna they're gonna switch out of hunter mode and they're just gonna start cackling.
Yeah, I think that even gets a snort from Crystal.
That was
You
terrible.
glasses are mean. They liked it.
Terrible. I mean, that was great. That was... Okay. And I would also just like to point out, I want to congratulate you guys because you even actually avoided causing much in the way of damage to the museum. I had not ruled out the fact that you might just set the entire place on fire, which is part of why that was in the contract.
Crystal's a little bit surprised about that as well.
Yeah, I think the most that happens is that you are going to be, once you do get back to Ped's Paints and everything is done, you are going to get like 2 gold docked from your payments each in terms of the cleanup that had to happen because you set the fire alarm off. They had to get many mops.
I just say before they leave, Eenie, Miney, and Mo, before they leave the museum, they're gonna go up to Crystal, and they're gonna look her in the eye. He's gonna bend down and say, "Took quite a beating there. Are you all right?"
Yeah, she's gonna push her glasses up, like, because they've definitely askew after that, and just be like, I'll be all right. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, and especially after how I'd been behaving. Thank you.
Eenie's gonna look at you. Eenie, Miney, and Mo are all gonna look at you. They're all gonna smile and say, "Of course we had to. You're our teammate. Isn't that what you do? Look after your team." And they're gonna bop you on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
That's 2. You're 4 hit points.
Still, I think yeah, her respect for you has definitely gone up. She's actually feeling a little bit of ashamed about how she was treating you before.
I mean, she was perfectly valid in that feeling, though, considering they are just 3 dumb birds, man. They care, but they are not clever.
I love this. You guys make such a great team, though.
Yes. Also, do we go to fix the door?
Juniper is absolutely going to fix the door.
Eenie, Miney, Mo probably go along with you and try to help.
I mean, they are a team. Might as well. She's not sure how much help she can be, but yeah.
Honestly, having you two there to help might actually be a bigger help than you think. She's now using her rollator because that was a fall, and she's 75.
Oh.
There's a reason she has shitty decks.
I'm gonna roll a quick perception to see. 19. Okay. Eenie, Miney, and Mo are gonna notice that you're struggling with your roller to get around, and they're just gonna like, they're shorter than you, so they're gonna kind of like shuffle up to your side and offer. They're like, "You look like you're having a bit of a tumble there. We'd help you out, but unfortunately we kind of already used our cure wounds on a little one over there. So if you need someone to lean on, we're always here." And they smile up at you.
Oh, I'll I'll be fine with time.
And I
Yeah.
am not little.
I mean, you can't
Not
bark
that
compared to us,
little.
you're pretty sure.
Honey, I tower over you. I tower over everybody, but not my point. I don't do it on purpose.
Can't help being tall. It's just, I mean, we're mostly legs, to be fair. It's mostly legs and beak with us, and occasionally a little bit of hair. But you know, you can't help the fact that you're just, well, you're just not quite as tall as us. It's perfectly natural. It's fine.
Yeah, she's grumbling under her breath about being the tallest in her family.
Loving this.
You get a giant paw on your shoulder, though. Crystal, and she is also casting Cure Wounds, and it's just like it's a firm but still gentle. Grasp. I can think words.
It's okay.
You're valid, Babble. Words hard.
Oh,
Oh, max heal.
Nice.
So much grandpa
Yep.
care in that touch.
she's definitely back up to full health now.
Oh. Ah, and you guys saved the day. Congratulations. I love you three. You did make a fantastic team. You've managed to not even just contain but completely defeat the giant monster rampaging through the gallery. You didn't cause that much in the way of chaos, and you made a good impression, or at least one of you made a good impression on Plinked. So like, congratulations, you did fantastic. I'm so proud of you. You all get a draft point. You all also get 23 gold each, as Ms. Penn is going to be docking that 2 gold for cleaning up in the gallery, because look, they need to make some money back after this whole disaster.
That's valid.
Yeah,
So
fair.
Juniper does sincerely apologize to Miss Plink after having to pretty much incinerate her art piece.
That's okay. I think like Miss Plink is obviously sad because she did spend a lot of time with that, but also you can't really help it when your art comes to life and becomes a rampaging monster and tries to hurt people. And oh well, she's still got her basic sketches and everything. She's still got like drafts, so she can just make it again. She guesses, or she'll make something new, which will be far more entertaining and fun. So.
I think Crystal will say,
If it's any consolation, it gave very strong hugs.
She is touched.
Southern ones, one might say.
Yeah. She is touched that you would say that, and is very glad that you enjoyed her work to a point. She guesses.
she did not say she enjoyed it.
Oh,
she
no.
said it gave strong hugs.
That is how she is going to interpret it, though. Oh, that was fun.
This was such a good game, Kai. Thank you for running it.
Thank you for
So
playing.
fun.
So much fun.
A massive, like, I just want to say thank you, Babble and Dewp, for being okay with me delaying it a week after last weekend. And also thank you, Candle, for coming in last minute and joining the crew, because this was so good.
I had so
Thank
much
you.
fun.
This was such
That was a
great-
delight. Alright, does everyone want to say goodbye for the recording?
Yeah, thank you.
Bye!